Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Hadidi Makeover. So if you're just joining us here for the first time, don't forget to subscribe. We do makeup and turban tutorials, and also don't forget to like, turn on your notification, but don't forget to subscribe. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. So today we are going to be doing everything cream. We are doing a cream blush, we are doing the cream eyeshadow, we are doing a cream contour, we are doing a cream highlight, and we are also doing a cream foundation. Of course, foundation is always cream. So let's see how this goes. Let's start. Let's jump right into the video. So starting off, I cleaned her face using the micellar cleansing water, and then I moved on to moisturize her skin because my model here has a very dry skin. Don't mind the background. I decided to just test this this new spot. I love the lightening of that window. The lighting in the window gives me. I had to change my spot for today. It's not the normal white background, but I'll try to get a background. So if this background is distracting you guys, just take your eyes off the background and just watch what I am doing. So let's see. After I cleaned her face, I moisturized her skin using only Cetaphil. I told you guys before, I don't like using too much product under the skin because I know I'm already used to using one product, most especially if the person has a dry skin. I use only moisturizer and then just move on from there. So looking at her skin, if you noticed, her face is a little bit darker than her neck. So I decided to just use a shade a bit lighter than her skin just to match her skin tone. So this is I mixed the Khalifa foundation. Done with the foundation, I am going to be using after blending the foundation, I'm going to be using a very light shade of concealer. I am using the shade, I'll be using the Adventure Concealer in the shade 01. That's the very lightest shade. I know whenever I'm doing a light skinned makeup, I prefer using a very light concealer because you want the highlight to show very well. You don't want to be distracted by her skin color or anything like that. So if it's a darker model, going darker, it's okay. But if it's a lighter model, you want to make sure, like a light skinned model, you want to make sure going lighter is also okay. So yeah, I decided to use like 2-3 shades lighter than her skin tone to do the highlight. If you noticed, she is very fair. So looking at her skin, I'm already done with the blending of the concealer. I'm going to be setting it with a setting spray because I want it to be very flawless. Yeah, that's the word. I want her skin to be well hydrated, so that's why I'm setting the face with a setting spray. After I'm done with that, I'm going to be using my beauty blender to dab into the skin. That after the setting spray dries off. So after that, I'm going to be using the Ferrarici concealer palette to do her skin, to do her contour. You see, I told you guys, I've always I'm always doing the powder contour, but today everything we are doing is all cream. I did her foundation, I did her highlight using a cream highlight. Now I'm doing her contour using a cream contour. I want to practice more on this cream thing. Moving on, I am using the View Beauty lip stain, 24 hours lip stain. I just touched her cheek 1 2 3 drops and then used my beauty blender immediately to blend that out. The other side I am blending later. It ended up drying up and I used another I just touched it again with another like more of the blush, the lipstick, and then everything blends out perfectly. Can you see this? I just practiced this now and I don't know, I am falling in love with cream blush, guys. I applied the setting powder first by laying a very thin layer under her eyes and then moving on to apply a very thick layer because I want the setting powder to set perfectly. As usual, normally I do apply powder under the eyes before I apply like the shade of her powder before applying the setting powder, but I decided to use a very thin layer of setting powder using my beauty blender and then moved on to apply a very thick layer like the one that is going to serve as a barrier between my eyeshadow and her skin and also baking at the same time. So moving on to the contour of her nose, I used a darker shade of powder, not a very dark shade of powder, just one shade darker than her skin to set my cream contour. Whatever you're doing cream, you want to set with powder. That is it, because if you leave cream like that on the face, it's going to smudge. So and after that I'm going to be setting her whole face using her shade of powder, and then we move on to the brows. I'm going to be brushing her brow hair upwards just to get whatever it is, like just to get the shape of her brows. I'll be using the Hega and Esther brow gel to do that. I'm using a small angle brush a very precise small angle brush, I'm going to be going in and making sure my outline are very straight. Then we move on to filling the brows. I'm not going to be filling the brows too much. I'll be using, it's a brow tint. You want to be very light. You want to be applying it very lightly, because if you're not too careful, once you touch the brow tint too much, it will end up breaking or smudging whatever it is close to the skin, and we've already done the skin work. You can't correct that, so you have to control the way you apply your eyeliner eyebrow gel. So moving on, I'm going to be using the Usher's brow tint. Just discovered this brow tint from one of my students here in the studio. Like, the brow tint is big, guys. Makes your brows look more fluffier and tame them where you want them to be. So after the brows, I'm going to be highlighting her brow bone using the same Ferrarucci eyeshadow eye concealer palette. So after I'm done highlighting her brow bone with a very light shade, I'll be using the same shade I used for her contour, like a very light shade, a darker shade I used for a contour, and then mixing it a bit with the lighter shade of concealer, and then doing the inner and the outer part of her brows. I am using concealer today. I did not use foundation. I just want the brows to be very obvious. So as you can see, I just got the shade right, because I made sure the concealer shade is very close to her skin tone. The one I was using, that was why, that is why you see the brows looking very neat. So you can use the shade of your foundation to get the outer and the inner part of the brows. That is what I did. I just mixed the darker and the lighter shade together, and everything is coming out perfectly. So I'm going to be doing the upper part of the brows with the same shade I used for the inner and the outer part of the brows, just to get a seamless and a sharp brows, guys. So after that, I'm going to be blending that out and then doing the other brows too, and then I'll set the whole thing, and then we move on to the eyes. As you can see, I told you guys I'll be using cream eyeshadow, cream whatever. So the only thing here is I did not use a cream eyeshadow. I used my lipstick, the same V Beauty lipstick I used as the blush. I'm going to be touching her eyelids with that, just 2-3 drops of that. I'm going to be applying it on her lids and then blending that out. After blending that out, I'm going to be using the Zickel eyeshadow palette in Lydia Stanley to the shade that is very close to that color, to set the eyeshadow. You want to set the eyeshadow, guys. Everything cream, I already told you, we set it. So after applying this, I'm going to be setting it with that shade and then blending using a burnt orange as my transition shade. So as you can see, I'm just blending. I used a burnt orange shade, and then used a lighter orange color to do the upper part of her crease. So after I'm done with her crease, I'm going to be setting her brow bone. It's already cream there. I'm going to be setting her brow bone using her shade of powder, or a shade lighter, a little bit lighter than her skin tone, just to get the brow bone correct. Okay, so after setting her brow bone, I used the shade, the the Luster Cosmetics pigment in the shade Ariana, Brimstone, and Milky Way. Then I mixed the three shades together and then used my wipes and setting spray. I showed you guys how to do that. Maybe I'll be dropping the video up, the link down below on how to apply pigment. If I don't do that, you can just check the videos, because I know I'll forget after I'm done posting the video. So you can just go check my videos on how to apply your pigment with setting spray and yeah, of course, with the pigment and a brush. So after I'm done with the pigment, I'm going to be using the Mabruk eyeliner, liquid eyeliner, to line her eyes. So you want to be very careful when you're lining the eyes. Lining the eyes here means, okay, so after applying my mascara, that was when I applied the eyeliner, because I don't know what happened. I did not record the part where I was applying her eyeliner, so her mascara. So after we are done with the eyeliner, I'm going to be fixing this lashes from Wink Lashes. I think this is in Savage or Wishes, I can't remember. So after I'm done with the lashes, I'm going to be lining under her eyes using the Zaron gel eyeliner. So after I'm done applying the gel eyeliner, I'm going to be using a very small flat brush just to blend, to smudge under her eyes. Yes, I'm using the transition shade I used before, a little bit of the shade I used as the eyeshadow to set her eyeshadow, and then using a burnt orange shade for the outer part of the smudge. As you can see, her eyes is looking a little bit bigger because I smudged under her eyes. That is what I like. This is what you do when you're doing a smoky eye. So this eyes here is a smoky eye makeup with pigment. So that's it. After I'm done with that, I'm going to be taking off her setting powder. First of all, you want to use the tip of your brush to wipe off the eyeshadow fallout or pigment under her eyes. After you take that off, you just have to do it lightly, just buff it off her face, and then go in with the shade of her powder just to set under the eyes. So after I'm done setting where I baked, like the highlights, you take off the one under the eyes, her chin, on top of her nose, and then her forehead. So after you're done blending that out, I'm done with that, I'm going to be setting the whole face using her shade of powder just to get everything right. So hope you guys are enjoying this video. I'm going to be setting her face now using my Kiss Beauty setting spray. So you don't worry, even if it gets on the eyes, it's not going to shift even for 1 second. Okay, so I'm going to be using the Kiss Beauty setting spray to set her face, and then moving on to the lips, I'll be using a brown brow gel to do her outer part of the lips, and then using the shade Nude to do from the Adventure Makeup to do the inner part of the lips, and then I'll be glossing the whole lips using the Zaron Lip Max Sheen gloss in the shade Seashell, or is it Playgirl? I think it's Seashell or Playgirl, I don't remember, but I know I have the two. It might be one of them, either Seashell or Playgirl, because they look very similar. So you want to make sure you blend in between the lipstick and your gel eyeliner. You guys should pardon the background, people just keep going up and down, I just said let me try this space and see how it goes. When next I'm using it, I know I'm going to get a background or a backdrop. Even if I don't do that, I'll make sure nobody is in the studio when I am doing that, when I'm going to be recording again, because the way they were just going up and down, it's going to distract a lot of you guys from watching the video or understanding what I was doing here. So after I'm done blending her lips, this is where I'm going to be topping with the Zaron Max Sheen lip gloss. So this is it, guys. Hope you guys are enjoying this video. I'm going to be dropping the turban tutorial on Thursday, inshallah. So after I'm done, I'm going to be highlighting her face using the I think I used the master chrome. I don't know what happened. Actually, this video I just posted it and I just posted it as a tutorial. I just wanted to test the lightning and see how it goes. That's why I was not even showing the products I was using. So yeah, I think I used the master chrome highlighter here. So after I'm done, I'm going to be applying that and setting the whole thing with another setting spray. And this is it, guys. This is the finished look. If you do enjoy this video, please don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and also don't forget to comment. Please turn on your notification bell. On Thursday, I'm going to be dropping this turban tutorial that looks like a cap. I tied it with my hands. This is not a cap, guys. This is a turban I tied using my hands. So if you want to learn how we achieved this turban, just subscribe, turn on your notification bell,